Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Simon with topdockpro, and today we're working on this little 23 Pursuit, and we're going to be showing you guys how to dry sand. So if you come up here and check out the Gelcoat, it's really faded, and you guys might be wondering, like, how do I decide what grit to start? Anytime you're seeing like a lot of white in the color, you know, you're going to automatically want to go to about 600, maybe 800. Today we're going to be doing 800, but really the difference here, you know, determining what grit to start with. If you start too high of a grit, like we're gonna be starting with 800, we might just have to, you know, do a little bit more work, maybe run 2 or 3 passes, or, you know, maybe 2 or 3 pads per section. So it'll just take us a little longer, but 600s also would be a good option to start at if you wanna save a little bit of time. And then we're gonna work down to 800, 1000 dry, and then we're gonna go to 1000 wet with Mirka Abralon. So go ahead and check it out, guys. We're gonna show you how to do it right now. So what are we going to be using today? We got the Rupes LHR 21. This is the 6-inch backing plate. This is the random orbital. We've got our Mirka interface pad, and then we've got the Mirka Abranet 800. So we're going to start right here, and we're just going to take this nice and slow. You know, the biggest thing with sanding is being as robotic as you can. You want to just have those perfect patterns back and forth, very methodical. And that's going to get you the best result. We want to try to eliminate putting pigtails into the surface. And yeah, guys, so check it out and watch how I do it. Alright guys, so as you can see, we did about 3 passes. So we did horizontal, vertical, horizontal. That's about all you're going to want to do because you're going to have to clean the pad off. This pad's going to get caked up in Gelcoat, and we basically just want to knock it off. And we got to clean it because this pad has little holes in it, right? And we got to clean out those pores, get this pad clean again so we can use it one more time. And then we also want to wipe down our surface. Okay, so if you guys take a look at the surface, you're gonna notice it looks a lot better than over here, right? So we're starting to remove this dead gel coat on the top. So the way your gel coat oxidizes is it starts at the surface and then it works inward. So we're removing a lot of the surface level stuff, but of course it's pretty deep in here, so we definitely got a little bit more to do. And we're gonna have to probably hit this, I don't know, I would think like 3 times before we can move on to Mirka Abranet 1000 and then into our Mirka Abralon 1000. So we're gonna do a couple more passes, guys, and kind of show you, you know, how much this changes even further. But this is a great head start into what we're trying to accomplish. Okay guys, we're back here. We just did our second round. So we did 3 more passes, and this time I went vertical, horizontal, vertical, just to kind of change it up. But you can see, you know, we've got it just a little bit better now. And really what I'm thinking is we're gonna have to do 1 more round with the same pad. We're gonna clean it off again, and then we should be getting a pretty nice surface, and then we'll jump into the 1000 Abranet. So stay tuned for that, and we'll see you here shortly. We just finished up our 3rd and final round. So at some point this pad is gonna stop cutting, right? We're gonna have used it way too much and it's just gonna break down, and then we gotta get a new pad. Now this is what the surface is looking like after 3 rounds of 800. So you can see it's starting to shine back up. We still got a little bit more sanding and oxidation work we got to do, but we're gonna hit those up with the last 2 rounds and really finish this out beautifully before we get to the compounding. We're about 3 rounds in and we're making progress. Alright guys, we just finished up all the 800 and then now we're going to do 1000. So as you can see, we got that Merca 1000 right here, and this is Abranet. Now what's really important when you're sanding is really to get that first round. Like, that first round is key. It's like a snowball effect. So if you don't get the first sanding round right, then every single step afterwards, the compounding, the polish, the waxing isn't going to turn out that great. So you want to make sure you get the first step right first, and that's with the 800. Make sure you get enough cut on that before you move to this, and then this is going to kind of we're just going to continue to finish out the gel coat until we get into the wet sanding. And this is kind of what you can expect it to look like. So you can kind of see it looks pretty shiny, but there's still a little bit of imperfections in here, and that's really what you're chasing. On that first round as well, you're going to notice on an oxidized boat, the gel coat becomes really porous and it becomes very wavy. So as you're sanding, you're gonna kind of cut down on those hills and you're gonna get more to the valleys, and you're gonna kind of flatten out the gel coat again. So that's really important for getting a really nice gloss and getting a really nice surface, you know, and allowing that surface to last for a long time. So that's really what we're chasing, what we're trying to achieve. But let's go ahead and do another section here, guys, and I'm gonna show you, it's gonna be the same process, but I wanna show you guys the difference between the first step to the second. There's that first round. I'm thinking for 1000, we're just gonna run 2 rounds, and that's gonna get us set up really nicely. So the goal on the second round, you know, the first and second round, we want to get as much of the oxidation out as possible, and then on that final round, when we're wet sanding, that's really just to cut out some of those scratches and kind of save us a little bit of time and work when we're buffing and polishing. So that's kind of what it looks like now. We're gonna run through this one more time, and then I'll show you guys what it looks like, and then we'll see you for wet sanding. Alright guys, now we are on step 3 of sanding. So abralon looks a little different. It's going to be a foam disc, and the only difference here, instead of, you know, doing dry sanding, we're just adding water. So we got the hose, we're going to put some water on there. It's going to be the same process, and then by the time we're all done, so right now it looks kind of shiny, but the wet sanding will bring it down a little duller, and it'll just have a really nice consistent kind of look to the gel coat. And then when we buff it out, it's going to look beautiful. So let's show you how to do it. There's a little trick to doing wet sanding. We don't want too much water in there, right? So now, first of all, we got to get it wet though. So I like to get the section wet, and I like to get the pad a little wet. Now the key to doing this right, you're gonna want to wait a few seconds, let some of that water drip off. If not, it's just gonna sling all over the place, and then also your pads are gonna hydroplane, so then you're not really cutting. So we want just enough water on there to keep the pad wet, because once this thing dries out, it really does nothing. It cakes up, and then you're really not doing anything to the surface. But other than that, similar process. We're gonna run around 4 to 5, and we're gonna do about 3 passes. So let's go. So you guys can see, I was nice and robotic about it. I kept that pad flat, right? We don't want to tilt it. We want that consistent, smooth finish. Then what I like to do is I like to rinse it off, and then I'll do one more round. So I'll go right back over this 3 times. I'll toss out the pad, get a new one, and then I'll move on to the next section. Me and Quinn we're gonna run through this whole side, and then we'll show you what it looks like. Sorry we weren't able to get the whole entire process, but we hope you guys got something out of the video. So this is the final result. This was after 3 steps of sanding, buffing, yellow wool, polishing, and then we did Stark Hyper Hold Pro. So that's the final result, guys. If you did enjoy the video, leave a like. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, drop a comment, and we'll see you on the next video.